Hello, I'm Robert Jerome with Invictus Personal Defense, coming to you from the 2A Shooting Center here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And today I'm going to try to answer a question that we have all the time. And that question is this: what's the best self-defense handgun out there? Well, I've got a lot of handgun options up here, and we're going to cover those, and hopefully I can answer that question for you. Jerome with Invictus Personal Defense, and today I'm going to talk to you about what is the best self-defense handgun out there. I've got a bunch of weapons out here, and first of all I want to tell you that all these guns I have out here, I would bet my life on these guns. And so I'm going to run through them and kind of give you an idea of what you need to look for and what is the best handgun for you. First of all, let's talk about kind of the workhorses. The three workhorses out there, the most popular guns out there right now for self-defense are, the first one is the Glock 19. The Glock 19 is, or any Glock, is one of the, by far, the most popular gun out there for self-defense. It runs real well. It just is a workhorse. It absolutely runs real well. The next one is the Smith & Wesson M&P. I wasn't real fond of a lot of other Smith & Wesson guns prior to this, but they absolutely hit a home run with this gun. And this gun is gaining in popularity, and it runs real well. It's a very well-built handgun. And finally, the last popular gun is the Springfield XD and XDM. All three of these guns are striker fire guns. They are very efficient. They run real well. They don't have a lot of malfunctions. They don't break down a lot, and they are very sturdy guns. And they're very popular because of that reason, that they absolutely run real hard. And you can run them hard, and they don't break. Now, another popular thing about these guns, as I said, they're striker fire guns. And what that simply means is it's a safe action pistol or striker fire gun. And what this allows you to do is this: we have only one trigger pull. It's the same trigger pull every time. We have some slack, and we have a hard spot called the wall, but it's the same trigger press every time. We get used to it, and we just only have to get used to one trigger pull every time. And so that's the reason why they've gained in popularity. A lot of people say, well, it's a lot like a revolver. It has the same trigger press every time. Not really like a revolver, but I do agree with you. It has the same trigger pull every time. Now, another popular gun out there, or some popular self-defense handguns, is this. I have a H&K USP, and this is a double single-action pistol. It's not a striker fire pistol. It actually has a hammer on here. And what are you talking about when you say double single action? Well, we're talking about this hammer here. The first thing we have to notice is the first trigger pull is an extremely long trigger travel. I start out here, and as you watch this hammer, as I start pressing this trigger, it's a long trigger travel. I sit there and I press, the hammer moves back, and we have an extremely long trigger travel right there. The hammer moves back, and then it hits past the sear, and the hammer goes forward, strikes the firing pin, and the gun goes off. After the first round, the gun will cycle all by itself, and then the hammer's back. So the second trigger pull is a really light, short trigger press. It's extremely light. So what we have here is we have two different trigger pulls that we have to manage. You have an extremely long first trigger pull, and that's heavy. You fire that, the gun cycles all on its own. Now the hammer locks back, and then we have an extremely light trigger pull the second time around. A lot of people are comfortable with these guns. A lot of people like them because they don't like this light trigger pull on every time, and they have this long trigger press the very first time. A lot of people like them because they feel like it's safer. I disagree that it's not any safer than the other guns I just showed you, but it's the gun you're willing to carry. So that's one of the options. A double single action pistol, this USP, is a great gun. It will go off every single time you press the trigger. It's a highly reliable gun. Some more guns that are just coming into vogue over the last year are the single stack pistols, these single stack pistols. This is the XDS. This is a Springfield XDS, and it's a single stack. They come in 9 and 45, this gun does, and it's very small, very compact, easy to conceal. It is a striker fire system where it's the same trigger press every single time. Has it has a back strap, so you didn't have that depressed, but it has some nice sights on it, some red fiber optic sights. Very reliable gun. The thing about this gun compared to these bigger guns is this: bigger guns are easier to shoot, harder to conceal. Smaller guns, easier to conceal, harder to shoot. The reason why they're a little bit harder to shoot is not because of the length of the barrel, but it has less mass. The less mass a gun has, the more felt recoil we have. So we have to learn how to manage that recoil a little more. But these are absolutely outstanding guns. Like I said, the XDS, single stack. When I'm talking about single stack, it's just a single stack of bullets lined up and down, where these guns, I just previously showed you, double stack. The bullets go in and they can hold more rounds, but a little more bulky, just a little more bulky. Another one of the new lines is by far probably the hottest pistol. It was the hottest pistol out there for a long time, is this the Smith & Wesson MPSHIELD. The Smith & Wesson MPSHIELD, it comes in a 40 and a 9. Great pistol, very accurate. It, again, a single stack, comes in 9 and a 40. It's a safe action pistol, or a striker fire pistol, where it has the same trigger press each and every time. Very reliable, very durable, and you always want a reliable, durable gun. So, you know, I don't have a 1911 out here. I'm going to talk about those in a little bit. It's a little bit, some people are scared of them. I'm going to talk about some of the myths about the 1911s. But people come in and say, well, what is the best gun for me? And I'll tell you, the best gun for you is the one that you are willing to carry, okay? The one you're willing to bet your life on. Now, like I said, I'd bet my life on all these guns. There's some guns out there, some manufacturers, I wouldn't bet my life on. I wouldn't bet my life, my personal opinion, it's just my personal opinion, I wouldn't bet my life on that High Point. I wouldn't do it. I want a gun that I know is going to function every time reliably. Now, do all guns function every time reliably? No, but I tell you, I'm running an M&P right now. The only malfunctions I've had with this gun is the ones I induced on purpose. I put dummy rounds in there so I could practice my malfunction clearance procedure. That's the kind of reliability we want. I ran a Glock with the Bureau of Narcotics for 20 years. The very reliable gun, very reliable gun. Some people ask, well, why'd you transition from a Glock to an M&P? It's pretty simple. This little beaver tail, this tang back here, I get so high up, I get a lot of slide bite on them. This tang on the M&P, I can get as high as I can on it, and I'm not going to get so much slide, I won't get any slide bite. So really that's the reason why I transitioned, and I wouldn't have transitioned to any of those guns if I wouldn't bet my life on it. Springfield's the same way. I wouldn't have any worries about taking this and carrying this and whether or not it's going to function properly. So again, you want to be able to bet your life on the gun, but the other thing is what is the gun you're going to carry? You know, what is the gun you're going to carry? So, because I would rather you have a 22 in your pocket that you're going to carry every day, a 22 caliber pistol that you're going to carry every day, instead of a 9 or 45 that you're sitting at the home. That gun at the house is not going to save your life. It's the gun you're willing to carry. But I ask that you make sure that it's a reliable, functional weapon. That's what you really want to bet your life on, a reliable, functional weapon. Now, are 22s reliable? No, because that cartridge is not exactly the most reliable cartridge out there. It just isn't. But if it's between that and leaving it at home, by all means, go ahead and carry that 22. So hopefully this will open your eyes and decide which gun you want to carry. I'm not going to make that choice for you. It's a personal choice. But the two standards is, would you bet your life on it? And which gun are you willing to carry with you every day? Hopefully this has been enlightening for you. Hope you've learned something here. I ask you to check out my Facebook, subscribe on my YouTube channel, and check me out on my webpage, invictuspersonaldefense.com, invictuspersonaldefense.com. Leave some comments, leave some questions, let me know what you think about this. Again, this is Robert Jerome with Invictus Personal Defense. I look forward to talking to you in the future.